Great. The immediate, we're both just All right. You ready?
I guess.
Cool.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You know, in Asian culture, we actually don't eat breakfast, we eat leftovers, so this is very uncommon.
Really? Ooh, that's fun.
Anyways, we don't have to include that. Just sharing with you
We
guys.
probably will, to be honest. Welcome to Breakfast at Cheng's at Cheng Plastic Surgery in Saratoga, California. I'm here with our nurse Injector Teresa, and today we're going over filler. Myths, when it's overdone, when it's underdone, all things filler. You ready?
Yeah, let's get to it.
So, as we get started, we're going to talk basic filler 101 to start and get into some nitty-gritty details. So, filler, can you tell us what it is?
Filler. Typically, it is something that's meant to replace the volume lost in your face. There's many different types of fillers, but here at Cheng's, we use hyaluronic fillers. Mostly for safety reasons, but also for aesthetic reasons. What is hyaluronic filler, you may ask? So hyaluronic acid is something that's naturally produced in your body already, and therefore your body knows how to break it down. Why is that going to be important when you are putting a foreign object in your body? It's because if something were to go wrong, such as a vascular occlusion, or you change your mind 10 years from now. Just kidding, it only lasts 2 years or less. We can definitely go back and dissolve that. You know, as human beings are very indecisive, so having that ability to change your mind is pretty nice.
I love that. So you kind of already answered one of the questions we had, which is great. No, I love that. So
do you feel simple? No, what if you have allergies?
Yeah,
No one has that banana allergy here.
So can fillers dissolve naturally then?
Like I mentioned, your body does know how to break it down over time. However, it doesn't just magically disappear. On labels, there's going to be an average of duration of how long it should last, but depending on your metabolism, how the injector injected it, the depth, the technique, that can change whether or not your filler is going to stay longer or shorter than expected. Typically areas with less movement, such as like your under eyes or your cheeks, those tend to last a little longer. So they last a little bit longer than people expect. Fun fact, while we were in surgery, we always inquire about medical history from our patients, and this particular patient was doing a rhinoplasty. Never listed any history of fillers, but when we went in there 5 years later, we saw some grains of filler, which is pretty cool. Kind of had like a free cadaver class in surgery, but that just proves that sometimes, yes, it does dissolve, but not completely. Not typically a scary thing unless you overfill or you're repeating it too much.
Nice. I'm gonna throw this away because I dropped it on the table. And I don't know how clean this table lasts.
Karina. Our cleaners.
Not last night though. They come on a weekend.
Karina. The people don't need to know that.
They don't need to know that. You're right. In terms of routine aesthetic care, should people have their fillers dissolved frequently, and if so, how often?
Well, there's not like a routine schedule. It's not like you have to routinely dissolve it every 1 to 2 years to start over. There's indications on when you should dissolve fillers. Obviously, if there was an adverse event such as a vascular occlusion, like I mentioned, if you change your mind, if your fillers are shifting and just doesn't complement your features anymore, then I would dissolve it. But other than that, there's really no need to introduce an enzyme to your face unless there was a particular reason why you should dissolve it. Ethical injectors will actually tell you when dissolving is needed. So there are times when I tell my patients, let's get that out of there and start over. Sorry, I've been using my knife. I'm not a violent person. I need people.
You're threatening train people. You're like, listen to your injectors.
I move my hands a lot.
I love it.
And there just happens to be a knife in it today.
No, and I love too, because you've told me this, I love how you as an injector tell people no. Because I know I've asked about my lips a couple times. You're like, girl, you're fine. Don't do it yet. I'm like, okay. Yes, Teresa, I got you.
Yes. I mean, at the end of the day, it's your job to make your patient look good. So part of that is telling them when to stop or when they should do it. I think it goes both ways, and the ones that don't stop patients when they're overfilled are the ones that kind of give us a bad reputation of having that pillow face or looking overdone or just unconventional. So I think you're doing the whole aesthetic community a favor by stopping some patients.
I love that. So let's say somebody does end up dissolving filler. Is their face going to go back like 100% to what it was before the filler?
Yes and no, depending on really how much filler they put in, and as well as like how they've been aging over time, how they've been doing other procedures for upkeep to stimulate collagen and elastin. I think sometimes when you're overfilling it, think of like a overfilled balloon. Over time as it deflates and that balloon or that shell isn't addressed, then you can have some appearance of like a deflated look. But keep in mind you're aging through the period that your fillers are in there. So is it really surprising that 5 years later when you remove all your fillers, you look different? Not necessarily, especially if you weren't doing anything like thermage or therapy in the meantime to address your skin. Sometimes people are just used to that full look, so when they dissolve it, they're just like, I look so much more flat than before, but it's not girl, that was your filler. You were just used to it.
So when it comes to filler, a lot of times people are thinking like the lips, right? That's the first thing people think of. Can you talk a little bit about the concept of facial balancing?
I think that comes down to looking at the bigger picture. So patients will come in and be hyper-focused on an area such as their lips or their under eyes, but sometimes it's not bad. So a lot of times, especially for your under eyes, it's actually not your under eyes that need the help. It's more so like your cheeks and that anchor to really lift that skin up. Or sometimes people think lips and it's really chin. So it really depends what they're trying to achieve, whether that's having a more sculpted face, a more lifted face, a rounder face. Really depends what you want, but you're looking at your face as a whole because there's going to be anchor points that really is going to give you that snatch look or that lifted look, I suppose. Both might not. And yeah, it's not always the area that you're just looking at. No one looks at one area of your face, they look at your whole face. Yeah.
Okay. I know, I'm like low-key excited.
I love vanilla bean, but like I've never had vanilla bean yogurt.
I'm excited. Sorry, I did check the ingredients already, but I am now forever scared of granola. Okay, good.
I checked it.
I know, I believe you and I
trust you.
do trust you. I don't trust myself is the issue. No, I'm allergic to that, just kidding.
What else are you allergic to besides coconut?
That's it.
Oh, nice.
That's a big one.
You had one job and that was to avoid coconut. You just still ate coconut. Just kidding.
I'm being roasted.
Karina actually ate my coconut granola, even though it says coconut right on top of the label. So that's why we're so cautious.
I fully looked at it. It says it right here.
Look how empty that bag is.
It was really good, granola. Thanks for sharing. So before we get into our little online activity, I want to talk to you about your experience with filler in particular. So your how long you've been in the industry, the techniques you have seen and love over time. Oops. And, you know, we touched on your honesty already, but, you know, continuing on that topic as well.
Oops.
We're gonna have a banana counter.
Sorry. Okay. Well, the Chengs basically raised me. I came in as a new grad in their surgical team under the training of Dr. Albert and Dr. Jacqueline. It's been 6 years now, so that's how long I've been injecting and working on their surgical team. Depending on the area, I really do like to go to bone. And the reason for that is because your bone is less likely to move around per se compared to like your fat pads or just the skin itself. But that's not always a possibility depending on the area that you're trying to inject. Like there's no bones in the lips. But yeah, we like to think about sustainability here as well and how our patients are going to look maybe a few years down the road. So I know everyone's scared of that migration look, so that's very important for us as well. Period. These are so slimy.
They're just like slipping. And I've heard you talk, not just like with me personally, but like, and not just with staff personally, but like I really do love your honesty as an injector, telling people like, I see what your issue is and it's not the solution you think it is, and you should be doing, this is what you should be treating. And so like I really, and we're gonna put some before and afters of Teresa's work because she's incredible. And I love that you mentioned that you were brought on with the surgical team as well too, and you do have that experience in the surgery room. So let's say a patient comes in and they're thinking they want filler, but really they're a surgical candidate. How would you approach that?
So I think that it's very subjective how people describe things. People will say they want to look very natural, they just want a little left, and next thing you know, they're dragging their whole face towards their eyebrows. So usually I have my patients animate their goal of how they want their face to look. And if it's just a subtle enhancement that can be done with fillers, I'll definitely tell them that. Or if they're more of a surgical candidate, I'm very direct with them. I lay out the pros and cons, whether and what they can realistically achieve with non-invasive procedures, and what are the limitations of that. You're never going to get surgical results from non-invasive procedures. And because if you did, we'd be out of a job back there.
Very true.
But it's really nice to have that tool because I can't draw that line for patients. I can tell them, yes, you're a candidate for a med spa, or hey, maybe just explore this option with one of our doctors. You know, learn about it and see what your goal is and how we're going to meet those.
So before we finish up with our little parfaits, we have a fun TikTok filter for you. So we're gonna be setting you up with a filter where it's gonna show you a pair of lips and you're gonna blind rank them. So basically 1 through 10, you're gonna place them, but you don't know what's coming up next and you can't change your answers.
Okay. Okay, we're going. First one. These are very subtle. Sometimes people like that, and that's okay, you know, to each their own, no judgment here. I just personally think that her philtrum could have been improved a little bit more with more height to her upper lip. I also feel like her upper lip is much thinner than her bottom lip. So if you're going to get filler, you might as well get the best of it and correct all the way. Having a long philtrum can age you, so if it were my patient, I would suggest maybe going a little higher on the top and just adding more juice a little bit. I mean, they're not migrated.
So what is it 1 out of 10?
I would probably say 6. Okay, so this is more like a Russian technique. It really depends. Some people do like that look because it's a flatter profile from the side. I don't think it looks natural at all, so they're not my favorite. I'll probably say 7. I see some really cute ones in here. Oh, like that one. This one is still not the most natural, but I really like it. She has a great Cupid's bow. She has cute pillows on the bottom. I like it. Probably a 3. I don't know, I've been seeing some bad ones. Oh my god, like that one. She looks like she's having a reaction. Gosh, definitely a 10. I think she's having a reaction to this one, and I would explore something else. Just check up on her. These are a really cute color.
I love how you always have a positive.
But the upper lip is bigger than the bottom, which naturally your top should be a little smaller than your bottom. So they don't look too natural to me. I think they look a little overfilled, especially the top. I would say this is an 8.
I know that's the hard part of the blind ranking.
Oh my
Sometimes
God.
you just have to put
I'm
stuff
just
where you don't want
particular.
to.
You want me to be particular.
It's true.
Well, this one's a little bit more balanced. She's very bodacious, you know. I don't think this is terrible. Some people do prefer just a fuller all around bottom lip than to have distinct pillows. Nothing wrong with that. So I'm gonna say this is my spot just in case. I'll say 5. Let's put her at a 4. I think the bottom are just a little bit too big compared to her top, but I do like how her top looks, especially for my patients that like fuller lips. Oh my gosh, I like 3 more than this one. This one is cute. I don't think it's terrible. Again, for my fuller queens, maybe with someone who has like fuller features, bigger nose, bigger eyes, wider face. This can look really good on someone. We'll put you at a 2. Oh, she's so cute. She's a 1. She's a 1. I want my lips like that. Oh God, wait, this is cute too. Oh, fine. She would have been a 2 or a 3. No, she would have been a 3. Number 3 would have been a 2. I'm gonna rearrange it. Dang.
Dang. I know. The blind rankings are so hard. They're just like, oh gosh.
I'm doing a disservice to some of them. Like, some of them weren't that bad compared to the others. To each their own though. However you like your lips.
There will be an injector for you.
Cheers.
Cheers. Take this one. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Yeah.
I'm done. I came for the free food. Bye guys.
Bye. What's that?
I got what I need. I got what I need.
Any final thoughts? I ask you with your mouth completely full. I'm so sorry.
No, fillers just, I know there's a crazy connotation going around that fillers can look really unnatural, can migrate. I say go talk to your provider so you can learn the beauty of fillers and what it really can do, because I've seen some phenomenal work where it really has taken some of our patients back in time and really preserved their beauty a little longer. You just need a little zhuzh. Everyone needs a little something. And not everyone has to know about it. So come to Cheng's and check us out. I'll tell you.
That was beautiful. Oh my God, I love it.
Gotta get my Vietnamese coffee in the morning.
Oh, that looks so good. Thank you so much for watching Breakfast at Cheng's. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe.
To see more bloopers like that.
To see more bloopers like that, please like, follow, and subscribe. We'll see you next time.